All right, good morning. So my name is Alicia Buda. I am a fourth grade teacher here in the great state of Texas. And I was thinking, because of all the stuff that's been going on, I didn't even have a chance to talk with my kids or let them know what was going on. So I just kind of wanted to take a moment to reach out to you guys. Hi. I hope that you are still making the best of this unexpected break that we are having. And I know that as new information develops, we'll be in contact with you and helping you navigate kind of this new area that is happening with all this new info. But I know that you guys are stuck at home. It's been rainy this week. And so I decided to go ahead and create a video to show you how to draw an Ewok. Now, an Ewok, for those who are fans, are from Star Wars. And so I figured let's just take a minute and take a break from all the chaos that's been happening. I know you've been hearing a lot of different news. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. And so let's just take a break and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take you step by step on how to draw. So go get your paper, go get your pencil, and let's go ahead and get started, okay? Okay, so here's a picture of the Ewok that we will be drawing. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it will look like after. So go ahead and grab your pen and pencil and let's get started. Don't draw super dark because in case you make a mistake, you want to be able to erase it. But I'm just using a regular, this is a 2B pencil. You can use whatever school pencil that you have or any pencil lying around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start not about halfway, a little bit up at the top. This is going to be our top baseline. And this is going to be pretty much the top of the Ewok, and then we'll work our way down the page. And so to start off, I'm going to go ahead and kind of do just a little bit of a curve line. This is going to be the top of his head, okay? And then I'm going to dip in just a little bit right here. His ear is going to be there. And so I'm kind of creating just that space. If you notice, it's just a little curved, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and make my line about right there, okay? So here we go. We have our start of our baseline. Feel free if you are struggling or I'm going a little too fast. That is the beauty of videos. You can pause anytime, catch up, and then press play when you are ready to continue, okay? All right, so our next part, we're going to go ahead and add to the side here. So if you notice, my line is a little bit more kind of straight going down this way. And again, you're not doing super dark lines. I'm doing it a little bit darker so you can see it. Please don't do dark lines. You can always do dark lines once your lines get established, okay? It's kind of Art 101 there. Make sure your lines are good, and then you can go darker. All right, now we need to go in, and by the way, this is his hood, okay? And so I know it's kind of interesting because you're like, Miss Buda, I can't see it. I don't know what I'm drawing. It's okay. Go step by step. We're going to do this together, okay? So here we go. We're going to go ahead and now add the bottom part of his hood, which is going to go right here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line this way, and then it's going to go pretty straight, but at an angle going down, okay? I'm going to go up and then down again. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing coming on this side. I'm going to go ahead and take this line and curve it around right here. And I'm going to go straight here. Okay. I know it looks a little weird right now. Just follow with me. It's going to make sense in just a minute. Now for this part, I'm going to go ahead and hook my line here. And then I'm going to have this part come up this way. And we're going to do kind of like a squiggle dance. So we're going to start it up here, okay? And I'm going to draw a squiggle here, and it's going to come down this way, and then it's just going to squiggle and connect. All right, so these are kind of the folds of the hood is what you're drawing. I know it really doesn't look like an established shape. Just look at small sections and see how you can draw it as closely as possible. And so I know it looks a little weird right now, but don't worry, we're about to add some features and it's gonna start looking really cute really fast. You ready? All right, so the very first feature we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna establish our bottom line. That's gonna be our easiest line to draw, and then we will add to the top. And so right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start here, and I'm gonna draw kind of just a curved line going across this way, okay? that is actually going to be the bottom of the face of our Ewok, all right? And then on this part, I'm going to go ahead and take my line. If you notice, when I'm drawing, guys, I don't draw straight like this. You're not writing, you're drawing. So when you hold your pencil, hold it a little loose. You want to have freedom of motion. If you notice, I can go all the way up here and sketch like this. And so you want to have the ability to move your arm back and forth so you have better angles on anything that you're drawing. So just kind of a quick tip there. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go up to about right here. So I made like a little dot for myself right here. And I'm going to go straight down this way. Okay, and if you notice, I did it kind of as a curve because his hood is curved around his face. So you want to kind of establish that curve in there. And then the curve is going to continue going this way. And this part's a little bit more rounded, okay? And so here, I have it way more rounded on this side. If you notice, here it's a little bit more straight lined, and then here it's a little bit more rounded. It's supposed to be that way because the hood doesn't necessarily fit the face the same way because of the quarter view that we're going to be doing. So if you notice that, there we go. All right, so now all of a sudden it's starting to look like something, okay? We're getting there. Let's go ahead and add some ears on. The ears, I think, will really kind of help establish a really good look. So our ear is going to go pretty much from about here to about here, okay? Let's go ahead and I'm going to draw the ear. Now, first what I'm going to do, and this might be helpful to you, you can very lightly just sketch the shape. So I'm going to do it pretty light right about here. When you draw it darker in, you're going to draw kind of these tufts of fur, and it kind of gives it that really furry look, okay? So if you notice, you can draw just a circle or a half circle straight there, and then you can add the tufts of fur after. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. You ready? So I'm going to go ahead and start off by just drawing my circle first, make sure I have my lines the right way. Okay, I feel like that's pretty balanced as far as the ears go. And so now I'm going to go ahead and draw just that with the same thing. I'm adding those tufts of fur coming in to give it that really fuzzy look to it. Okay, so there we go. So we got our established head, we got our ears. Let's go ahead and add that really cute face in, okay? So here we go. On our cute face, we're gonna go ahead and add a little nose right here, okay? This part's easy. I'm just drawing just a regular little oval right here, okay? And for the eyes, because he's super happy. He's so happy to see you guys. I know it's been rainy and he's just happy for some social interaction. So his eyes are what I call smiling eyes. They're super, super happy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add what's called smiling eyes right here, okay? Now on this part, I just added the first line. We're gonna make this line a little thicker. Let me see if I can try to zoom in. There we go. Let me go ahead and make these lines a little thicker. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start off thin, and you're gonna add a little space right here and go back to being thin again. Do you see how I did that? Kind of like a crescent moon. We're gonna do the same thing for this side, okay? So just a little bit right there. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and, it's up to you if you wanna color in with pencil or if you wanna do it with pen, but here we are, okay? So I'm coloring in, just to kind of give you an idea. You see how the eyes look so much better with a little bit of a thicker line. On the nose part, what you can do is you can add what's called a shine mark. Now a shine mark is where you create a little circle right here, and you're gonna color everything in but that circle, okay? So there we go. And then of course he needs his little smiley face right here. So let's go ahead and add just a little smiley face, okay? And there we go. So now we have our face established. How adorable is that already, guys? Look at that. You have done some really, really good work already. And look how cute that is. So now we are kind of not having a body. We're just having a head floating around, which we can have that. Our Ewok definitely needs a cute little body to go with it. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start on this side. I'm gonna add his arm and his legs and everything. Let me see if I can just move. There we go. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna have his little arm come up this way. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of create just a little hook right here, just to about right here, okay? So there's one of his arms. Now he's a little on the fluffier side, so here's the side of his body. You're gonna kind of create this like a really good little arched type of line right here. And then his foot is gonna come down right about here, okay? Oh, see that we kind of lost focus for a second. Hold on, let me see if I can, there we go. Okay, so there we are. And then his other part of his body, it's gonna kind of be like a circle coming all the way around. So if you imagine it, what I'm trying to do is create, and I'm kind of drawing very lightly because I'm gonna be erasing lines out in just a minute. You can see how his body is kind of that circular shape, okay? I'll be erasing and showing you this is what's called a guideline. This line is gonna help me make sure that it makes sense as I'm drawing it out, okay? So that's our guideline. Now he's kind of standing on one foot, the other foot's gonna be kind of up in the air. And so right here, always with art, your foot, when you stand, I don't know if you knew this, if you were to stand on one foot, your ankle or your heel is always gonna be in the center of your neck because it's a center of balance. So when you're trying to draw a figure on one foot, you need to make sure you follow their chin straight down, and that is where his ankle is supposed to be. Okay, so if I were to take my pencil and use that as my guideline, I can go here and his ankle should be right about here. All right, so that foot needs to be established right about here, okay? So that would be about where it should be. So let me go ahead and keep drawing. And let me see, I don't know if I want the foot quite down that far. Let me see here. Let's start it from this point of view. I think actually right about here, because I want to keep him kind of short and on the stubbier side. So again, that's the beauty of pencil. If you don't like a line, I feel like I did that one a little too far. Look at that, magic, gone. Amazing, isn't it? So there we go, we have his foot established here, so he's on one leg here, and then this other one, he's kind of up in the air over this way. I'm gonna actually fix this line a little bit, and there we go. So I don't want to necessarily have a line right here. So again, like I said, I was using it as a guideline. I want just the line here to here, like that. And then I'm gonna actually erase this guideline part out, okay? I did that because it helps me make sure that this makes sense to the eye, all right? So there we go. We have one hand, 2 feet, we're missing our other foot. Also, our little Ewoks like to hold little spears as well. We're gonna add a spear, and then we're gonna add some really cool detail into the fabric to make it feel a little bit more realistic, okay? So here we go on this part. I'm gonna actually slide my camera over so that way you can see this section of it. So let's go ahead and get started on his hand. For his hand part, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line right here. I'm gonna draw a line coming out this way, okay? Because he's gonna be holding his spear. Now his spear, the angle I'm gonna use my pencil kind of as a guide. I'm gonna do it right about here, okay? So I can see that that looks good. So my line is gonna be about at this angle right here. So I'm gonna draw a guideline, okay? I'm gonna draw just one line really light, straight down, okay? That looks pretty good. I like the angle of that. So because I like the angle, let's go ahead and add the hand part in, okay? So my hand part, I'm gonna create just kind of a circle this way. This is his paw actually holding on to where the spear is gonna be. Again, we're gonna be erasing lines out so it makes sense. So here we go. And now let's go ahead and get our spear actually in here. So I'm gonna add the thickness of the spear part right here, okay? And then I'm gonna follow this line. I'm gonna imagine it going straight through and connect it so it makes sense going this way, okay? So here we are. And then I'm gonna have this part kind of curve right there, okay? Now let me move this over a little bit and see if I can zoom in for you guys. There we go. That way you can see it a little bit better. All right, here we are. So now I'm gonna, on the spear part, it's gonna be wrapped up at this top part, kind of like with the fabric. All right, so you're gonna see right now, I'm gonna be drawing this fabric right here. So here we go. So there's my fabric part, and then my spear is going to come out this way, and then just like that. There we are. So let's go ahead and erase our guideline out from the hand, because obviously the spear wouldn't be on top of the hand would be over it. And let's add a little bit of details. Remember, drawing is in the details. It's the details that make it a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and add some really cool, just kind of like wraps in this. Okay, it makes it feel a little bit more organic and kind of cool, right? And you can add the lines wherever you want, however you feel like they should be wrapped. That looks pretty good. And then we're gonna go ahead and now start adding details to the rest of our Ewok here. I think one of the coolest details, we're gonna add kind of like this cord wrap that goes around his head. So with this part, I'm gonna have a line that comes up and then over the line here, and I'm gonna kind of squiggle it, and I'm gonna do the same thing going this way. So I'm kind of making this cord that's wrapping around, okay, on his head. And then we're gonna create kind of like a little bit of an anchor where you can see where it's established there, okay? So again, I'm creating just this really cool little cord thing that's going around his head. Okay, and we're just imagining it probably goes into the hood right there. Oh look, we're gonna actually add another cord here, and it's gonna come out this way and come through the side here. Okay, so again, just adding those really fun details are what makes it. Now, if it goes into the hood here, you may have another part where it kind of has like a crisscross thing. So again, slow the video down. If I'm going too fast, that is the beauty of technology and being able to slow it down, okay? If you notice, I put these dark lines under here. That makes it feel like it's anchored really well into the actual fabric, okay? So you can go ahead and do that. I think for the most part, oh, we did forget one little thing on his paw right here. And let me slide it over. We can actually add his little, you know, just kind of little marks right here. And so now that I'm pretty certain that my lines are looking amazing, you can go through and really kind of get those lines a lot darker. And then if you want to anchor, what's called anchoring your character down, when you anchor them down, you want them to make sure that they actually feel like they are, you know, established in the ground. And so you can do that by kind of just creating a quick shadow. So for him, his shadow, I mean, we can just very simply, we don't even have to be fancy about it. You're gonna just kind of create just a little circle right here, and then you can color that part in too, okay? Now, what's neat about this is you can go over with pen and draw all of that in as well. And so for example, let me show you, sorry, stepping in front of here. I use these pens. These are called a micron pen. These are art pens you can get at your local Michael's or any other store. But these are really, really awesome in the way that they do the ink. They don't smear, and they're a really rich ink. But if you notice, look, so I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of coloring this in. So I'm going over my established lines that I know look really good. And what you're gonna do is you just need to make sure it's totally dry before you erase any pencil marks out. Okay, that's important. Don't color it in and then try erasing right away. because you're gonna end up maybe smearing the ink just a little bit. This is pretty fast drying, but just to be on the cautious side. And so as you color in, it's nice because it kind of creates almost like that coloring book type of feel to it pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm just taking a minute to get this colored in. I just want to show you the difference of when you use your pens to go over your established lines in your drawings. It makes it come back so much more to life. It's really a lot of fun. Okay, so see, look at that already. Look at how beautiful that's looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and, as you outline and color it with pen, or if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm gonna just continue this so you can see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna very quickly re-sketch what I've already done in my pen so it looks really good, okay? Now on these curves here, guys, color them in a little bit more. It creates that shadow look. It makes that hood feels like it's actually going in a little bit deeper. And you can even draw right here. I'm thinking, let's draw a little bit of a line that comes out this way too for the fabric, because if we draw some fabric lines in here like this, that's actually gonna create more of a feel that it's a hood, okay? And we'll add a little bit more depth and shadow to it in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get the top part finished. So here we go. I have that top part in. So I'm just very carefully going over my lines, making sure they're nice and smooth. I'm gonna create more of a thicker line here, especially on the sides to create that shadow going in. Okay, so do you see that? You see how being a little thicker here makes it look like that hood is really over his face, which is that's the effect that we're going for. And same here, you're gonna want these lines just a little on the thicker side, okay? Same with this part right here. You wanna give it that feel that he's really kind of has that hood over his face, and it creates kind of that feeling. Okay, again, you don't want that super small line. I'm gonna make it a little thicker here. And then I'll add that thickness going into here. Okay, so looking way better, isn't it? It's amazing how just a little bit of ink on your sketch can make it look cool. So here we go. Let's go ahead and add this part. Remember, as you're going through this, be cautious and careful that you're not adding any ink to lines that you don't want them to. And that's the beauty of sketching first. You can make mistakes, and as long as you are listening to my advice and drawing lightly from the beginning, it does not matter. You can erase them out and it's not a big deal. Okay, you don't draw over them. So there we go. Let's go ahead and add the ear on. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit so you can see. So we're gonna get the ear on. Here, I'm gonna add that thicker line where that tuft of fur is kind of behind here. Look at that double line I'm doing right here and here. Makes it have a little bit more depth and dimension, okay? So your thickness of your lines really play to the effect of how it looks for your drawing. Okay, same thing with here. I'm gonna add a thicker line right here because that hood, I want it to have that dimension, okay? I want it to feel a little bit more 3D. Okay, And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this ear right here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit more. That way you can see. And then any of the bottom lines here, I'm gonna add a pretty thick line, okay, going down this way. So like this part right here is gonna be super thick, okay? Now remember, your hood is actually coming up and over his hand. His hand is actually kind of peeking from under his hood. That was not the hand line, that's the hood line, okay? So just keep that in mind. And then here's his hand, here's his little paw marks right here. This line I'm gonna have super thick here. Okay, there we go. So I'm really liking how this guy is coming out. He's super adorable. Oh, let's see if we can, there we go. Super adorable. Let's go ahead and quickly finish the rest of his body. This line is not gonna go all the way up. Again, that was part of our guideline. So I'm only gonna draw from about right here, and then I'll draw to right about there. That's all I'm doing, okay? I'm not going much further than that. Again, when I drew that circle, that was more because I just needed my guidelines to make sure that it made sense, okay? Then let's go ahead and get his hand and the spear drawn in. And this part will go probably pretty fast. I don't expect it to take too long. Okay, I will draw an extra little curved line in here because that's the bottom of a line, so it creates that shadow. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get the wrap done. I mean, even with the wrap, if you want to add the cool detail of even having like a line like that, okay, kind of creates a little bit more of a dynamic. Let me see if I can slide this over so you can see. So I kind of added these little lines in here, kind of creates a little bit more of a realistic look to it, okay? So again, this is going by pretty quick. We are almost done. Let's add the shadow. Now with the shadow line, try to be as steady as possible. I know when I sketched it, I kind of sketched it quickly, but I want to make sure that my line is smooth, okay? And then you would actually color this whole thing in. So on your shadow, you'll want to make sure that this is all colored in because it would be shadow. And then I think our very last part here would just be the leg part here on this part. So I'm going to go ahead and just add his foot in. Okay, add the little details of his paw. Same thing here. And there we go. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, look at how fancy he is. Now, for the most part, whatever is done up here should be dry. I'm gonna erase from the top down, and we should be good. And that's gonna clear away just all my pencil marks. It's gonna make it look really nice and clean. It's also gonna let me know, like I just noticed here, I forgot this line under the arm. So let me know if I forgot anything with my pen. So I'm just gonna take a minute to erase out all my little guide marks. Oh, see, and I didn't actually, with my pencil, look, I didn't do my guidelines right here with my pen, okay, which is okay. I can very quickly go in and do that. It's not a big deal. Okay, there we go. But it definitely kind of cleans up the picture and makes it look nice and clean and crisp. But it is up to your preference. If you like pencil drawings better and you want to color it in with pencil, that is your choice. That is the beauty of art, is whatever looks good and what you like to do. I kind of like having the pen look afterwards. I think it looks really cool. But whatever makes you happy, go for it. That is the beauty of art, and everybody has different tastes, okay? So There we go. Now the very last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to color this in pretty quickly. Well, you know what? Maybe I think I'm going to pause on that one. I'm looking at my very itty bitty pen, and I think that's going to take a long time. I'll probably need a big Sharpie to get that one in. But there we go. We have our Ewok and it is done. If you want to add one more maybe detail, you can add a little line right here on the pole just to make it feel a little bit more dynamic. But we are just about done, guys. So like any true artist, you need to make sure that you go ahead and add your signature. Here is my signature, okay? And I'm gonna put 2020 here, okay? So that way, as you continue to draw and grow your art skills, it's always fun to look back and to see how you've grown. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day and that you enjoy drawing. And be sure just to go ahead and click and subscribe so that way, if you would like to do more videos, it will alert you. And here's the thing, if you would like to comment on the bottom and pick something for me to draw, I'm more than happy to pick one of your guys' suggestions, and you may be able to see your video or a video of the picture that you asked to draw on the next video. So we will see what happens. Thank you guys. I hope you have a very wonderful day and enjoy the beautiful weather. If you can, go outside a little bit in your backyard. Make sure you read some books, and I will see you guys later. Bye.